Ooh, we're wobbly. Easy. Okay. Hey guys, it's Erica with Not Your Average EDC. Happy Saturday. I hope you're all having a great day. We are due for an update of the Para 3. We are 1 week in. We are one camera angle awkward. Oh, God. You know, it's always something here, isn't it? This... Fuck it. We're going vlog style because I can't get the right lighting. I'm sitting on my porch. Okay. I'm just gonna hold it. So, what I was trying to say was, we're due for an update of the Para 3. I've been carrying it for a week, about, maybe a little more, and I've carried it every single day, at work, at home. I have mixed feelings on it. So, it's a great knife, and I don't have great stability here. It's a great knife. I really enjoy the color scheme. Like, this brown and black is definitely cool. The clip, fantastic. The whole setup looks great. I'm super impressed with how it's holding an edge. I've only stropped it so far, one time, and it's holding an edge really well. This is S35VN. I think what makes me nervous about it is just how thin it is, which it hasn't necessarily been an issue yet, but I have found myself on a few occasions, like, being careful executing my task just because that tip is so thin and I'm a little nervous of breaking it. And I'm definitely a use your shit girl, so having to be careful of my gear is not really my jam. But that tip is really thin. So that makes me a little nervous, and it kind of hinders the fun of using my knife when I encounter something where I have to be cautious of pushing it. Another thing is, the height of the blade is a little problematic, and just the spidey hole in general. So yesterday, we had a huge shipment, or delivery I should say, of pumpkins at the farm, and they came in this big cardboard box that usually holds watermelon, and it's a box about the size of a hot tub. Not kidding, it's that big, and it's a cardboard box, 5 layers, and I had to break it down to fit into the dumpster, and the knife, the edge was doing fantastic. Like, it cut through like butter. But it was awkward cutting through it because if you think about it, with a task like that, where you have something that you're cutting it's that wide, and you have to use a sawing motion, you're pretty darn limited with this blade, because although it has an edge that, is 3 inches or whatever, you're kind of starting to get cut off at the spidey hole if you're sawing, because this entire area right here is problematic. It's high, it's awkward. I was getting the spidey hole stuck in the cardboard because I was trying to saw not straight, because I wouldn't have had any leverage, so I was holding it at an angle and trying to kind of saw through the cardboard like this, at an angle down. And when you do that, you only have that much blade to use. And how are you supposed to saw with that much of a blade? There's not enough length. If I was able to utilize the whole thing, it'd maybe be a little bit better, but this spider hole really causes some issues because it gets stuck in everything. And the deployment is great. That deployment is that's really nice. Like, it feels great actually, taking it out of your pocket, opening it up. But when you're actually cutting, which is what the knife is for, it sucks. That spidey hole is taking up a lot of space. I mean, only being able to utilize that much of a blade, that sucks. Aside from that, it's been okay. Like I said, the tip is a little thin. I have used it to pull a splinter or two. I use my knife. I'm not kidding. I would say at least a total of maybe an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours in a work day. Like, not straight, but just all together, probably a good hour and a half, I would say. So I get a lot of knife usage. And this knife has done a ton of stuff. It has cut baling twine, tons of produce, tons of packages, boxes, all kinds of stuff on the farm and at home. I am doing a ton with this thing. The MXG clip, I'm kind of surprised. I already chipped the black powder coating off. I don't know if it's picking that up. But I put this clip on when I got the knife, and the coating's already coming off a good amount. Like, there's probably a good inch where it's just off. The coating on the blade is super durable. Like, there's dirt on it and stuff and crap from work, but I don't think I have any wear on the blade yet at all. Which is really surprising with what I've been doing with it. So that's cool. That's impressive. But yeah, just the design is a little flawed. If you are actually using your knife, my arm is tired. If you're actually using your knife like you should and using it in a sawing motion and not just doing push cuts, it's honestly not the greatest. Sorry, I'm trying to get level here. We're just winging it per usual. Sorry about the bad lighting and the bad angle, guys. It's just what we're working with today. Yeah, so it's such a cool knife. It's just kind of flawed. Like, and what's really irritating is, like, so I bought a Delica from a friend because I want to test this as well after the Para 3. Like, at some point, I want to test the Delica too. And I like the height of this blade better. Like, this blade shape, I feel like, would work a little better for me. It's a little slimmer width-wise. I kind of just like this drop here. This blade shape in general is just a little more my style. That spider hole, I guarantee, will be a problem again. But it's like, I like the shape of this blade better. But then, and actually the ergonomics on this are much better too, for me. Like, the Delica just melts in my hand, and it doesn't have that awkward fat handle that some people don't like. Like, I know a lot of people get the skinny mod on this, but so this is damn near perfect, except for the fact that it's a fucking old school lock back. Like, that's a bummer, because the compression lock on the Para 3 is mint. I love that. Mine, I can't, like, ooh, okay, well, that time it flicked closed. I usually can't do that. I guess it's breaking in. I have taken it apart and cleaned it twice, but normally I can't flick it closed, but at least that compression lock is like a one-hand type deal there. The Delica is so old school that it's the lock back, and yes, you could do this all one-handed, but it's awkward. Like, don't fuck with me on that. It's awkward. Doing that one hand is just tough, and even the deployment, you have that spring that you're working against and that detent, and it just, like, it's awkward. So the handle shape is more comfortable. The blade length the blade shape is better in my opinion. But then you have a shit lock, which, by the way, this has up and down blade play, side to side blade play. That sucks. But this is like a gas station knife on steroids, like kind of a better version of a gas station knife in my opinion. Like, it's not anything that great. So if these could be like combined, kind of, that'd be cool, right? Like, if we could have this blade shape and a little bit of a skinnier profile on the Para 3 with the compression lock. That'd be neat. Something kind of similar to that is like a Sage. Like the Sage series is a little bit like that. It's like a leaf-shaped blade, a little bit longer, but like the handle is kind of weird and fat. I had the Sage 3, I think it was. It was the blue one with the bolt action that's discontinued. I had that, and I actually enjoyed it, but it was like kind of big. But I wish that they would just like give us something good, man. Like, Spyderco, I don't like you very much at all. Maybe I would if you, like, did things that made sense. I swear, they purposely, like, take aspects of a knife that we want, and they, like, take one aspect and, like, put into a knife, and then take another one and put it to a different knife, instead of, like, combining them all. Because this just, like, kind of sucks with that locking mechanism, and then this is just so short. Like, that blade is short and fat, and it doesn't work for like a utility knife that well. I just can't get the length. That is not enough for me for a work blade. That's just not enough. It simply just doesn't work for everything I need it to. And it was super awkward yesterday trying to figure out how to saw through something like that. Moving like this, because I didn't have any length. Otherwise, it's a super cool knife. I can't say too many bad things about it because it really is cool, other than that prohibiting my cutting. But it's super slicey, super sharp. This S35VN is working better for me than the Chris Reeve S35VN. I'm not saying it's better, I'm just saying it's working better for me. It's lasting longer, doing the hard-ish use that I do. So that's my week 1 update. Definitely enjoying it, just trying to figure out how to make it work in certain situations. And it might not. It just might not work with some of the cuts that I do at the farm. It just might not work, but we're going to run it for all of October. It looks great. Mike from Powers Crafts and Carving, thank you again for influencing me to give this a shot. It's hard for me to do things that I don't want to do because I really am just not the biggest fan of Spyderco, but I am trying to find a balance between like doing things for the channel that you guys want to see, but also staying true to myself. Some of the stuff I just won't do, but this is something I could. So, yeah, at some point we'll try to figure out the Delica. This is not my first one. We'll run this at some point just to see which one works better, this or the Para 3. I do have a lightweight on the way, a lightweight Para 3. That will be interesting because I've never even handled one before. It should be in sometime soon. It's getting Cerakoted right now at Rec Custom Shop, which, by the way, you guys are not going to believe how this looks. Like, oh my gosh, Eric killed it. But anyway, guys, yeah, there's the week 1 update. Going well so far. If you can get your hands on a Para 3, I can suggest it so far if you're not going to break that tip off. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. And use your fucking shit.